Amigas Castros, let's going to start our maths lesson of today. We are going to correct yesterday's work where we were looking at fractions, and then we were looking at equivalent fractions, the one that have the same value. Okay, so you had to find, your work was trying to find equivalent fractions for these fractions that they were given. They were given as a diagram, and then you had to count how many shades you had, write it on your numerator, and then write as many as equal parts as you have. Okay, the total of them equal parts, not only the shade, the whole equal parts that you had. Okay, so let's go to find on the first one. You had 6/12. We saw that to find an equivalent fraction, we can divide by the same number or we can multiply by the same number. Because I have 6 and 12, and I know that 6 and 12 is on my 2 timetable, then I am going to do my first one dividing by 2. And I'm going to find the equivalent for this fraction by dividing by 2. 6 divided by 2 is, well done, 3. 12 divided by 2 is, well done, 6. Is there 6 and 2 in any other timetable? Have I got it? I got it on my 2. I have it on my 3 timetable. So now I'm going to find another equivalent fraction and I'm going to actually divide it by 3. Okay? So you should have 6 divided by 3 is 2 and 12 divided by 3 is 4. So I know then that 6/12 is the same as 3/6 and as 2 quarters, sorry, not fourths, as 2 quarters. Now we know as well that what you can do is dividing, is multiplying, okay? So if I just find another one, I'm going to find it, for example, timing it. And I'm going to time 6/12. I'm going to time it by the lowest, by 2. So 6 times 2 is 12. And 12 times 2, 2 times 12 is 24. And that is a nice, easy way to make equivalent fractions by dividing. You cannot find it, sorry, just because it's too sunny today. So I do need to just move it and you can see it. Okay, hopefully there. By dividing by another number and by also multiplying, okay, my fraction. So I'm going to go now to my next one. On next one, 6/8. Well, have I got 6 and 8? I'm going to try first to find a division, to find a number that I can divide by both. So, is 6 and 8 in any of my timetables? It is. It is on my 2 timetable. So if I divide 6 and 8 by 2, I probably can find straight away my equivalent fraction. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Okay, there we are, first equivalent fraction. Now 6 and 8, is it on my 3 timetable? No, because 8 is not on my 3 timetable. Is it on my 4 timetable? No, because 6 is not on my 4 timetable. So then I stop dividing, and now I'm going to find another equivalent fraction. If I cannot divide these numbers by the same number, then I'm going to multiply. So I'm going to multiply by my lowest that I can, and that is times 2. 6 times 2 is 12. 8 times 2 is, well done, 16. So there you are, another one, another equivalent fraction. You could do it if you want even one more. This time, I said that I am not going to divide anymore because I can only divide it by 2. So this time I'm going to time it by, I've timed it by 2, and I'm going to time it by 3. And I need to time my numerator and my denominator by 3. So 6 times 3 is 18 and 8 times 3 is 24. So then now straight away I know then that 6/8 is equivalent, is the same as 3/4 and is the same as 12/16 and is the same as 18/24. Alright, let's going to move to my next one. You have 9/21. 9/21. Okay, so I am going to try to divide it by the same number. It said 9 and 21 on any of my timetables. Is it on my 2 timetable? No, 9 is not on my 2. Is it on my 3 timetable? It is. So let's going to divide both of them by the same number. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 21 divided by 3 is 7. Okay? There you have your first equivalent fraction. Can I divide that any other one? I cannot divide it by 4, I cannot divide it by 5, no by 6. So now I'm going to then multiply. Let's going to do this one by multiplying by my lowest one, which is 2. And I'm going to multiply, I'm going to times my numerator, and I'm going to times my denominator by the same number. 9 times 2 is 18. 21 times 2 is 42. Okay, so then you will have 3/7 and 18/42. Okay, so that is about equivalent fractions. It's quite sunny today, I'm sorry. That is how you can work out equivalent fractions by timing or by dividing the number by the same number. Okay, the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So let's going to do quick, a big practice before we move on. I'm going to have now, I'm going to go for 3/8. And now I'm going to find what is equivalent to 3/8. And then remember that all my fractions, what I am doing, I am showing with my numerator, I'm showing the number of pieces that are taken or that are being shaded. For example, I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, and 4. And my denominator is going to tell me out of how many equal parts. I have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, I'm going to take only 3, so it can be the same as that, okay? So if I'm taking only 3, I'm only shading 3 out of 8. Right, so to find an equivalent fraction, we said that we time or we divide the numbers by the same numbers. We time or divide the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So, is it 3 and 8 on the same timetable? Can I find 3 and can I find 8 on a timetable? No, I can't, can I? So I'm going to then, straight away, the only thing that I can do is time. And I'm going to time it by my lowest. My lowest is 2. Can you quick tell me what it will be the equivalent fraction of 3/8 if I time both my numerator and my denominator by 2? It is absolutely right. That will be 6/16. Okay? Now could you try to think then what it will be if I time it by 3? Can you try to give me another one? Another equivalent fraction, this time timing it by 3. Quick. Go for it. Absolutely right. 3 times 3 will be 9. 8 times 3 will be 24. Okay? So straight away you have there your 3 equivalent fractions. Now today we are going to say, what about now if I have some missing numbers? So what about if I get, what about if I have 1/4 is the same, it's equivalent at something else, and it's equivalent at something out of 20. So how can I work this out? Well, it's kind of a job like finding missing numbers, isn't it? When we do some exercises where we need to find a missing number. So I have 1/4. I don't know what is the equivalent one, but then I have a big clue here. I know that my denominator has been timed by a number to get 8. So all I have to do then is find what number times 4 is 8. Can you think of what number times 4 is 8? That's right, times 2. 4 times 2 is 8. Now my rule for my equivalent fractions is what it was, if I'm timing my denominator by a number, to find an equivalent, I need to time my numerator by the same number. If I time 4 by 2, now I need to time 1 times 2, which is 2. Okay? Right. Now I have 4, and I have another equivalent fraction. With it, the denominator is 20. How can I get 20? Again, well, I can find what number times 4 is 20, so then I can time my numerator by the same number and make an equivalent fraction. I have 4 times something is 20. 4 times 5. 4 times 5 is 20. I time my denominator by 5. I time then my numerator by 5. 1 times 5 is 5. Easy, isn't it? Quite simple. Let me move there so you can see it. So I have my numerators, they were missing. So my only thing that I had to do is work out what do I need to time my denominator by to get this number so I can do the same to my numerator. Okay? Right, do you think that you can do these ones for me? Let's going to see if you can do these ones. Quick on your book. Get ready? Can you do, this time I'm going to do 1/7, and I have something out of 21, and I have something, and it has 14 there. Now, I'm going to try to make it a little bit tricky here, and I want you to have a look at this one because it may include division, so you need to think a little bit more. Okay, so keep an eye on this one. Something 6. And then we have this, a little bit tricky. Okay, let's going to just play it when you are ready, if you are working it independently. If you cannot do it, if you have tried and you cannot do it, just play it now again and then we work it together, okay? So I have 1/7. I don't know my numerators because they are missing, but what I can see straight away is some of my denominators. So all I have to do is find what number has this been timed by, so I can do the same to my numerator. So what is 7 being timed by to get 21? 7 times 3 is 21. Then if I've done it to my denominator, I need to do it to my numerator. 1 times 3 is 3. Okay, let's going to go for my next one. It is out of 14. Denominator 14, so I know that this has been timed by, 2. 7 times 2 is 14. Then if I time my denominator by 2, now I'm going to time my numerator by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. Okay? Easy? Really simple, isn't it? Now this one I said to you to be careful because it may include a division. This time, the fraction that they give me is right in the middle. And I know that this is smaller. This is a smaller denominator. So I know that 12 has been divided by a number to get 6. Okay, so 12 divided by what is 6. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Then if I have divided my denominator by 2, now I need to divide my numerator by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2/6. Okay? And now I'm going to move to my next one. Oh, on this one I tried to trick you, didn't I? I gave you the numerator and I didn't give you the denominator. Simple, I just did the same. What number times, because it's bigger, what number times 4 is 8? It is times 2. 4 times 2 is 8. Then if I've done it to my numerator, now I'm going to do it as well to my denominator. 12 times 2. 12 times 2 is, whoopsie, 12 times 2 is 24. Okay, happy? Really easy, isn't it? Not that tricky. I think that's it. So today your work is going to be some fractions with missing numerators or denominators. Some of them that they will have a smaller denominator or numerator, so that will include you doing some division to get it, and some of them where you will have to do multiplication. The most important bit of it is that you remember that to find an equivalent fraction, what do you need to do? You need to time your numerator and your denominator by the same number, or you need to divide your numerator and your denominator by the same number, okay? Have a go at it and then we will correct it tomorrow. Adios!